Hi, everybody. I'm Z Wong. So first time doing this, so I'm not sure what the normal format is, but as usual, I'm going to do it my way. So like Barrett was talking about, I want to make this as interactive as possible. Although I don't see you guys, I'm imagining a room full of people. So what I wanted to do in the next maybe 30, 40 minutes is talk about our next chapter, where we're going from now. So we're doing some exciting things. So ask questions and tell us what you think and your thoughts, feeling, whatever it is, right? Okay, so let's go. Okay, good, all right. Before I go into the future, I want to go back. This is a picture from South Sudan. What this guy is doing is breaking rocks. And he does this day in and day out. And the reason he did this is to break rocks to pave roads, to make roads, to go somewhere. And in the beginning, that's exactly what we did. So we spent 3 years doing consulting. I mean, it feels exactly like breaking rocks. It's mundane, it's boring, and we don't know where we're going. But I always tell people, my team, that this company was not founded on any groundbreaking, earth-shattering idea. We didn't have any. I didn't have any. All I have is that I know if I'm working together with my friends, like-minded people, we'll go somewhere someday. And so the first 3 years of operation were just painfully breaking rocks. And now, of course, right, I'm talking here because you already know where this road leads to. And in 2008, something amazing happened, and you all should know what that is. And of course, Apple announced the App Store. I still remember two conversations that I remember vividly. One was that year I just purchased a house, and then Chris called me, and Chris was like, "Did you hear what's happening? There's an App Store, and we should go." And that feeling was so strong, and it stuck with me in my mind. And basically, the feeling that, okay, well, this is the long-awaited opportunity. We've been using our hammers, breaking rocks, trying to pave the road. Well, we don't even know where that road may lead to, but now we do. So 2008 is when we start. Now, I can even actually go back further of why we pick data collection as what we're building, but I will not bore you on that. For now, I'll just say we try different things, and it would always go back to our root. Our root is empowering business people, doing something boring, actually. So if you remember that, it's like a gold rush in late 2008 to even now, right? It's like a gold rush. Everybody wants to build apps, or it's an app for whatever it is. And games in particular, a lot of my friends end up doing games. But we didn't do that. We started building iPhone Builder, and in summer of 2009, we launched it. And the rest you already know, right? So right now, we're serving many different industries. We have a worldwide customer base. I think we're close to breaking through 80,000 users now. I remember in 2009, in a Christmas party, I was proudly talking to my friends, and I told them, I forgot who I told, but I was like, "Hey, we actually have 110 users in our platform." And I was so proud of that, and of course now we have about 110. I don't know, every few hours. So we're serving worldwide audience. What I most proud of is actually being able to allow our customers to do more. What I've figured out is that if you put out something nice and listen to your customers, you can let your customers do a lot more amazing things. And a lot of you listeners out there or what we call our friends or partners. You're business experts doing what you do, and we allowed you to do it better, more efficiently. So for that, I'm very grateful and very proud. So what's next? Now, before I go, what's next? I want to see if there's any questions and concern or whatever it is. Anything, Barry?
Yeah, people just don't want you to stop talking yet. So keep going.
All right. Okay. All right. So what's next? Now, I won't go into the specifics, which a lot of you may want me to, and Tony and other people will. So I'll go. What we're going to do is, well, actually, this is already happening. Move from more of a clipboard replacement to a workflow enhancement, and that actually already happened since last year. It's a gradual, slow change, but we're going to go there with more focus going forward. And at the same time, even though no, we're not changing the names of iPhone Builder, but we'll be talking less about forms and more about data, which is what is important. The forms are just a mean to an end. Data is what's important. And we also will change from being a product to trying to be a platform. And again, some of these changes is already happening. Our API is doing great. In this year, we're going to put out more emphasis on the third-party widget, which to a certain extent is a client-side API. We're also going to roll out true client-side API and make it allow more people to build more on our platform. So that's iPhone Builder. We also are, I think I put it out in the beginning of the year, going to become a 3-product company. So we have iPhone Builder that right now account for, I think, 90% of our, maybe 95% of our revenue. We have this thing called a Thunder Plug. For those of you who doesn't know, it is a little box that acts as a baby cloud, mostly right now for NGOs going in Africa and extending what they can do with the platform. And right now, at least in my mind, I'm calling this it's the little machine that allow NGOs to go where they have never been able to go before, and be able to make the invisible visible. And this is very exciting. We're going to put in a lot more energy into expanding this platform, this hardware platform, and grow into many more NGOs and also disaster recovery. So that's the hardware, and it's very exciting. And so the other thing is I'm going to give you a tease on this new product. I will actually tell you a name. So this new thing that we're talking about, we need to go back a little bit on where we stand right now in why we designed iPhone Builder to be like that currently. So right now, some of you may have heard me saying this before. Now, we don't do reporting. We draw the line of giving you good data. Because when we first designed iPhone Builder, we felt that reporting is soft, right? So many people does reporting, BI. A lot of our customers, especially the bigger ones, have data warehousing team and have their BI group and reporting tool. They all have that. So all we need to do is solve the front end, giving them good data, and then now they will do what they do. And they already know how to do that, how where data is being kept. And we also said that we're transactional. We're meant to be transactional. iPhone Builder was meant to be an easy way for you to get good data. You get data in, you get data out. Now, for those of you who are listening, a lot of you, I bet, keep data in iPhone Builder and just let it sit there. It's not meant for that. But what we learned, both of these assumptions are not entirely true. still don't fully understand how it is possible. But what we're seeing is a lot of our customers are struggling continuously, finding out, well, where to put their data in the long run, and how do they do data processing after they get all these good data. A lot of feedback that I got was like, well, now we have a big fire hose to get good data. Water is coming in, good data is coming in at really fast speed. I don't know what to do with them. And my default answer has always been, well, you call your BI group, call your reporting group, call your data IT team, data store. Amazingly, even a lot of our customers in big companies, they're struggling with this, not just small companies. And I can understand why small, mid-sized companies struggle with this, because they don't have the budget to have a reporting tool or reporting group or data warehousing group. But the amazing thing is even big companies struggle. And I spent most of my time last year dealing with this problem, and that is the new product that we're going to roll out. We're going to fill in this gap, try to fill in the data storage and data processing gap. And the name of this new product is called Gnosis. Okay, and we'll talk about the naming later. I'll let the marketing group deal with that. So a lot of you may be thinking now, oh, well, are they going into reporting? Well, I can't really answer that question at this point. I will tell you what we're doing right now. Gnosis this year will be the secure, massive, long-term data store. And we'll emphasize on all these things to fill in the gap that we see our customers will need. And we'll go from there. And at the heart of it is based on trust no one architecture. Now I know Box just announced this very similar kind of initiative last week. And it's actually, from the core of it, is very similar. It's based on trust no one. You are the only one who has access to your data. We will not. And we'll also allow Gnosis to be deployed locally, right? Which is also something that we're against before. We want Gnosis to become the simple, easy default data store for everybody, big or small, and in any geolocation. So we also come across a lot of customers in other countries where they are not allowed to put things in the cloud. So questions here?
So just one thing, Z. Some people on this call aren't really familiar with what you mean by data store. Yes, you said there's security. Yes, you said you can keep your data there for a longer time, and that it's huge. But what does that really mean to their workflow? And what does it mean to their projects?
Right. So go back to a little bit, right? So this is the slide. Right now, a lot of people collect good data, and then they download the Excel file. Some groups download them into a SQL server. Some groups download them into Salesforce.com. Most of our customers do not have a mean or way to keep the data for the long term. Now, I know many of you focus on creating that report at that time. And a lot of you actually, what I learned is that report becomes the long-term data store. So you create a report in PDF or in Excel, and you send it out to your team or your management or the government, and you store that report. Now, at that point, data, you don't keep the raw data. Well, actually, many of you keep the raw data in iPhone Builder. So some of you may not be thinking about, in the long run, 5 to 10 years from now, where you find data. Can you create new report from existing data? What I think we're seeing is that in the long run, there's a lot of opportunity if you keep your data An analogy I can put in is it's like you take pictures, right? In the past, you take pictures and you develop them, right? That's a long time ago, maybe before a lot of your lifetime. And you develop the pictures. Nowadays, you don't develop them, you don't even print them, you store them in a giant database or actually a giant file system. And then down the road, you look through them. Nowadays, we take so many pictures that we don't need to print them out, and actually, it creates new opportunity for you to do like things that you never be able to do before because you have so many pictures. Things are similar. Things are similar in the data realm, where perhaps right now you focus on creating that report, solving your business problem. In the long run, you want somewhere to keep those data. I'm not sure if that answered that question. Okay.
I think that covered it. It is a different workaround and a different process that people aren't used to. So they'll definitely have to or think about, having this place to store all the data. And what you're talking about is going to be hugely beneficial. One question too with this is great that I'm able to store it all there, but what about, working with other groups and sharing that information? How does that work?
Yes, that's very good. Now, I'm not going to answer all these questions right now. Okay, this is meant to be a tease so that you ask me a ton of questions. And yes, this thing will include, actually this year, we'll do data sharing. And it's trying to address the same thing where once you have a lot of data, well, now what? There's the now what stage of our data storing, if you will. So it is based on trust no one. It's a giant data store. It will solve your massive long-term storage problem. And it has sharing, right? I didn't even prepare a slide for that. Sharing is a key feature within this year's release. And that's it right now. So now, I know this is like not enough. Now, what will happen is we will set up a beta program in Q1, and for those of you who are interested, now I also understand if you don't have problem, if your life is perfect, that's great. But if you want more information, feel free to let us know, and Barrett will figure out how like where you put your email into. I want to go back to that. What we're trying to do. I mean, we never set out to be the world's best mobile data collection product, but we set out to be the world's best friend for you guys. We want to be able to empower you. And I think that satisfies me and satisfies my team, is be able to let you do more. And so ask questions. Let us know where you want to take us. So I want to end this with another big talk that I'm preparing. This is the Watts steam machine. We are actually in a very, very big moment in history. Talk about steam power here, and imagine yourself sitting in late 1800s, and you learn about this steam power, and now you think about, well, how does it apply to what I'm doing? Maybe I'm farming or have been creating textile or different things. People start coming up with ways to use this new power, new energy. And data is that. And people talk about it, the internet is that. I think it's a little bit more than that. Data is actually the new source of energy. and the term energy does not directly apply, but it's going to become the new source of resource. And I sometimes say he who owns data owns the world. I know that's not technically correct or politically correct even, but we're in this world that the next few decades will have dramatic change in terms of everything you see, things you do, how education is done, how politics is done, how country is run. And we sit in this very special world. What we're trying to do is allow people who need our help in this world to do more. So that is what drives us. So that goes back to, I want to end this with where I start, right? When I started this company, I didn't know I would be building iPhone Builder. I didn't set out to do this data store or Thunderplug or none of those things that I didn't know. What I was trying to do is get together with like-minded people. And I know once I have a group of like-minded people and opportunity presents themselves, we will go there. And now, actually, this role or this group expand, and it actually expand to, in my mind, not just my group, not just my friends, and include all of the customers. The way I see customers are like these, are like Chris and Scott and Woody, my partners and friends in the company, that you guys are doing amazing things. And I know if we have this group of people who constantly thinking about how do we utilize existing technology, existing opportunity to go out and do more, we will go far. So I don't know where life may take us in the future. In the short term, I can tell you we're doing iPhone Builder, we're doing a Thunderplug, and we're doing Gnosis. So take us there, and that's the end of my crazy talk. And coming down to earth, we're hiring. Okay, so this year we're going to staff up. Right now we have 10 opening positions, from developers to sales to customer support to solution engineers, and basically starting up all around. So if you know of anybody or yourself or anybody that is looking for a job, eager to help people, let us know. Okay, so any questions? Any question that I won't answer?
Hi Z, yes, we do have some questions that came in. One of them being is, it says, will this new data store tool allow users to have a local capability to automate the transfer of iForm data from iForm Builder to a local database? It would be great to have a tool that we could take the data feeds from iForms and organize them into related tables in a local DB.
Right. So I will answer it in. It is a yes and a no. Actually, a no and a yes. No, this tool will not directly do that. This new product is meant to solve your long-term data store, mostly in the cloud, but in places where they don't allow for clouds, we will allow for on-premise installation. Now, to answer your question, we may actually solve your problem some other way. And talking about this will be iPhone Builder. Within iPhone Builder, we have some discussion about opening up the feed within the mobile device. So you can actually grab the feed and decide not to actually sync it to iPhone Cloud. And so that may solve your problem, that actually you can sync it into your own database in your own backend, or we have talks about syncing it directly into ArcGIS, and that's on the iPhone Builder side. So, no, Gnosis is not meant for local. Perhaps I think where you're getting it is more on your desktop, but iPhone Builder may solve your problem. Okay, anything else?
Great, thank you. There is another question, and it's just more about the reporting? I mean, you touched a little bit and then you said, well, so people are wondering, what does that mean? Are we going to have some kind of reporting with iForm? Do we still, in the future, do we still need to rely on other systems, or is this something that we could potentially see in 2015 and beyond?
Very good question. Very good leading question. Am I on? So yeah, reporting is a big deal. It's a big topic. I think I'll answer it as continue to be well. What my answer right now is this: I see that in the marketplace, I sense that in the marketplace there is a gap in the offering. There are many reporting applications. There are many BI applications. And I still don't understand why my customers are struggling. Is that only because you don't want to buy yet another tool? If that is the case, but I'm not convinced. If that is the case, if that's the only case, then it's fairly easy. We just integrate with one, or like buy another reporting company, and then we have reporting. But I'm not convinced that is the problem. That is the core of the problem. There is a deeper issue / opportunity that I'm struggling to find an answer on. Okay, so I need a lot of feedback now. But I will tell you, right now, I mean, I think many of you have asked me this question on reporting ever since we start, and my answer has always been no. There are enough reporting tools out there. Right now, the answer is not no. Okay, but are you going to see iPhone Builder or any product from Zerion that will do reporting this year? Probably not. So I'm sorry. But I sense that there is a big opportunity between all the reporting tools out there and all the BI tools out there that why you are not just go and buy a Crystal Report or any of the, I mean, there are so many, I can't even list them. There must be a reason. And I think once we have more and more data, we will have a better chance of figuring out. Now, I will answer this, however, I will say this, however, which is if you have specific reporting need that you will need help on, let us know. We're going to go out and ask all of your feedback, what kind of reporting you want, what kind of data processing you want. And that's the key word. I don't think reporting is something that we will do, but we may do data processing. And right now in my mind, reporting is nothing but formatting, like your font size, your background image, or background color. It's the data processing, crunching that's important. How we group your data, how we summarize your data, maybe doing data analytics. That is more important, and that's where we're going to dig deep into solving. So, long answer again.
So there's another question. I just saw Dawson's hand up. So Dawson, I'm just going to give you the rights to speak, and hopefully, you have your speaker all set up.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Fantastic. Z, great stuff today. Really appreciate the platform, and you guys have just done a really nice job with improvements and enhancements. So I just want to start with that. The question that I have is regarding Ibeacons. With this third-party widget that you guys have just released, I could see that working really nicely by being able to read, push and pull location information from an Ibeacon. So, in the case where you're doing an inspection in a hospital and you want to know specifically when a device has entered the room, when it's exited the room, being able to log that information and communicate back and forth with Ibeacons. What's the roadmap for that?
Okay, so technical issues. All right. So that, I think you already answered it, Dawson. It is the third-party widget. And so going into the year and actually going forward, we're going to rely on third-party widget and make iPhone Builder smaller. And iPhone Builder has been growing as a product, as an app that we add things into. What we're trying to do is actually make iPhone, the mobile app, more a shell, a platform, and then allow these things to work. And Ibeacon could be another third-party widget that either us or you can build. And again, going back to the platform idea, is we want to allow for these kind of things to happen. And so the short answer is no. We don't have plan on building Ibeacon into the platform, but because they're third-party, and we'll continue to open it up so that you guys can create these things to enhance the offering.
Okay, great.
All right, the next question really is, you touched upon the Thunderplug and Gnosis and how iForm Builder, the platform as a whole, is now 3. Can you just go into, I know you talked about it quickly, but how do those 3 things really change Zerion software and change how we are as a business?
Deep question. I didn't expect it to go that deep. Now, like I said, let me find that slide. There's another slide that I didn't present, obviously. So in the long run, and like I said, we're in this data era. In the long run, we want to position ourselves as the platform of choice, the tool that you all will use when you move into the data era. Now, Act 1, if you will, we start doing iPhone Builder, which is active human-based data collection. So iForm continue to grow on that along that line, which again is you go and collect data. Now that will evolve into business products, business apps, workflow enhancement. That's what iPhone Builder will continue to move on. Thunderplug right now, today, Thunderplug is an ultra disconnected server for iPhone Builder. Going into this year and into the future, we're going to build out Thunderplug as our hardware arm that does passive data collection. Now, I'm telling you this, it's a long-term plan, and we'll start executing on that with some partners to do passive data collection. And these things are things like climate sensing, soil sensing, or even we have a GPS tracking. These kind of things I see that a lot of our customers will want if they want to fully enhance their workflow. And Gnosis becomes the core of all these things, all these data pipe that pipes into our world. We want to have a place where we can trust that it will be secure. Now, I will do many more seminars about why we think it will be secure, why it works, and have you all challenge and perhaps go into deeper of all of those features that I was talking about for Gnosis, which is secure, massive, and long term, and allow Gnosis to be this core hub of collecting all the data, either active or passive, and then of course going beyond that is data processing. So that is the long-term view of the company, and center around data and center around enablement. So if you look back on how many of the design decisions that we make, we always make things to give you more power, but also give you the power to make mistakes. In our world, and I would say the SaaS world or the product world or the mobile world, that's weird. I mean, a lot of people call me like, this is not good, because you could end up giving a user a bad user experience because you're giving them too much flexibility, too much power. So they end up making mistakes. I totally disagree. I think I'm not solving the lazy problem. Okay, making everything super, super easy to do and confined so you cannot make mistakes is solving your lazy problem. I'm trying to allow you to build your dream. I have many customers come to us and say, we have wanted to do this for so long, but not able to. And now we can. And that's why we do everything we do. And so going forward, it will be the same thing. We continue to grow iForm Builder as more of the front-end active data collection business workflow, and allow Thunderclub to grow into this passive data collection, also similar to iPhone Builder, but target a different audience. And then at the end of the day, allow things to store, capture in Gnosis, and then we'll do amazing things about it. So that will be the long-term product line. Okay.
All right, so we have another question, and this is coming from Dale. So Dale, I'm going to give you some presenting rights here, or actually just allow you, I'll unmute you, and at that point, if you want to ask Z your question, that would be great.
Yeah, Z, I had a three-part question, and it had to do with the reporting arena. One of the things that we could really use is a way to receive pushed alerts, notifications when a form is due to be completed, and a way to push a notification or alert that it's overdue for completion. And there's two other parts to the question. We could also use, the second part is we could use a way that after the form is synced, that form results are integrated in with other form results from other places, and then have like a benchmarking style report pushed back to the submitter of the report for some effectively real-time interpretation in the context of other data. And then the third part is we could really use a way for user-to-user interaction in terms of reviewing either forms or pushed benchmarking reports, edit, even annotate user-to-user. And I don't know if that fits within your design scope or if there are other solutions for that that would be integrated with iForms.
All right, thank you. So the answer is yes, yes, not sure. Now, your first two parts of your question, well, the first two parts has to do with workflow. And we're going to build, Tony may kill me, but we have planned this year, I can't tell you when, Tony will, and to build out server-side logic. So right now we have very good client-side logic, right? So you can use JavaScript to decide what the front end can do when this happens. This view will show up or disappear. You can do formula. We're going to do similar things on the back end so that you can do the first two parts of your questions. When something comes up or when the data is synced, you can say, well, if this comes up, grab a data feed from another table and create something else. That is all within the realm of server-side logic. And your third part, I'm sorry, I forgot what the third part was. Third part was, user-to-user interaction, right? So user-to-user interaction, maybe we need to understand a little bit more. It is, right now you can reassign. I'm not sure how that may work. Maybe it could work if it's going back to the server and allow server server-side workflow to give you the logic, and basically what we're going to do is open up a lot of the action, quote unquote, actions to be able to script it from the back end and give you JavaScript support on the back end. So when this data is pushing, you can send an email, send a report, or reassign. So some of that may solve your user-to-user interaction, but a lot of these are server-side logic, and it is a big thing that we're going to roll out this year.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we do have another question. Well, I guess he says it's not so much a question rather than a comment. My stumbling block is getting the data into a form that these reporting tools can work with. Currently, we would download and transfer Excel into MySQL. This is a manual process and not live. Having a tool that does this for me would improve our workflow. If you do not have coders in your organization, this is a difficult task to develop yourself.
So yes, and if you can leave me your email, let's have an offline chat. Those are the things that we will need to learn. And where is your stumbling block? Is that because of our object structure on the back end, where we're subform like an object tree that is hard to do, or what kind of reporting format or all these reporting tools accept? How do we do better? So we want to help you on that. So let's keep in touch, have an offline conversation, and those are the things that we truly need to learn and help guide us into the future.
All right, so those are all the questions that have come in so far from me. I don't see any other questions, but Z and I will stay on the line for probably the next 10 minutes or so, just to see if anything else comes in. And so let us know if you need anything, if you need to head out. Thank you so much for attending today. We really appreciate it, and we're all really excited to see where Zerion software can go and how it can empower your workflow and empower your day-to-day life. So thank you again, and like I said, we'll be on here, so if you have some questions, let us know.
Thank you.
And to innovate in the way that we would like to, and your platform is really the only platform that we have that we can quickly do a proof of concept, move to pilot and into production with solutions that meet the requirements of our end users. And from that standpoint, it is becoming a entwined with our operations more and more on a daily basis. But at the same token, while we can quickly innovate and move to production to collect data, because of the discussions we've had in the past related to reporting, we can collect a lot faster than we can spin up reporting on the back end, and therefore it really holds us back, whereby we can innovate, put solutions in the field much faster than the pipeline on the back end to create reports to leverage that data. And therefore, we keep coming back to this discussion on to be able to do for reporting what you guys have done for the data collection. And so I'm interested to see, obviously, you're continuing to put efforts in, but I think from our perspective, if we could report out as quickly as we can report in with data, it would really make this a even more valuable product to us than what we've seen so far.
Right. Thanks a lot, Al. And for everybody, Al is from Gay Gourmet. You have all tasted the food that Gay Gourmet created on airline. And Gay Gourmet has been a very good customer partners of ours. And I always say, like, Al is like a perfect customer, because you continue to dream, you continue to push us, and continue to tell us where you need us to go. And I think I never think iPhone Builder is like the best solution out there. I don't think very far from it. But we are a group of people who are more willing to go the extra mile, do the extra step to help you realize what you need us to do. And so obviously, yes, like we talked about reporting, and that's what I want to solve. But I know like you want us to have a solution by the end of Friday. Um, I sense that it's not that. It's not just integrating with like LogicXML or Sisense or any of these platforms. It's actually a little bit deeper than that. So I ask for your patience, and maybe we will go together. I think there's a deeper problem in the BI world, and it's not as simple as okay, we'll integrate with a reporting tool, and all of a sudden all problems are solved. Um, and but I will assure you that that is the direction that we're going. So in the meantime, we will help you build reports if you give us a contract.
Well, also, I mean, what is it that you need in your reports? Is it very basic, or what is it that you're looking for?
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, we have a reporting backend now. We're using Crystal, but it's just like anything else. Because your platform is so efficient on the front end, we can turn out something in an hour that we can be using the next day. Clearly, it is not that quickly to pull the data out. We do leverage your admin site where we can, but clearly there are limitations as that as well. And so we will at some day come up with a long-term solution to this. And here again, as we continue to leverage your platform in our global operations, that's clearly accelerating. At some point, we will come up with a solution with this as well. But appreciate your efforts on this, Z, and working with your team as we do pretty much on a daily basis, and look forward to continuing to integrate this in with our peanuts on airplane operations.
Right. And yeah, Al, at least I'm not saying no right now, right? I've been saying no for the longest time. I think you remember.
And I mean, if you could even send us what your reports look like now and how complex they are, I mean, that can just give us some idea. I mean, like Z said, he's not saying yes or no, but it would give us some idea on what you're doing. And
It's not a definite no. So that
Okay, well,
something.
not no is good.
Right.
So after no for so many years, it's nice to hear a not no. Hopefully, we will live long enough to hear a yes.
Right. Well, I mean, I always say, like, if it turns out that there's no such problem, then I'll be happy. I'll go back to just giving you good data, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, well, I mean, we'll continue to evolve, and
Yeah,
just
not a problem. I'll send you guys some samples. And we'll get some out of our database and send them over here in the next day or two. And thanks for all your help, regardless.
well, thank you. And it's at the end of our session today. So those of you who are still on, I forgot to mention this earlier. Later today, you'll get a PDF of the slides that we shared, as well as the recording. That'll be given to you in an email, as well as it'll be put up on our customer success our page on in the iForm Builder Academy, where we have a link to all of the recordings that we've had so far, as well as the upcoming sessions. So thank you again, and thank you, Z, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day.